I've never done this before, but I just got this idea. If I can edit a photo in 5 minutes or less, then that's proof that you have learned how to use a system. And what I like to do on this channel is show you creative things as well as practical things that you can do with your images. So I'm going to go ahead and take the image that's on the screen, put 5 minutes on the timer, and get started with editing the photo and talk you through my thought process as I do it. So hitting start on the timer now. The first thing that I want to do with this photo is really correct the overall exposure. The way that I can do that is start looking at some of these camera presets, or camera profiles, I should say. And I know I've said in the past that if you want to work fast, you get a preset. But today, I think I'm just going to leave it on standard because that works. And I'll try out AI Auto. I kind of like what that's doing, but I'm going to pull this down just a touch, and it looks like the overall shot needs some more contrast, so I'm going to drop some contrast in there. Now, if you look at this with architecture, sometimes you run into lines not being completely straight the way that they need to be, so I'm going to hit the letter C, and we're going to work on our overall crop. And I'm just going to rotate this. There's that grid that I've talked about in previous videos that is helpful with architecture. Don't use it too much because I don't shoot a whole lot of architecture. And I think that works out a little bit better. Now, the overall crop, I don't think I care to have his legs in the shot. And I'm not sure if this building's doing much for me other than giving a sense of scale to the larger structure in the background. That seems to be the main focus of the shot, right? So maybe if I pulled this down just a little bit, we're going to declutter some of that noise, get rid of that light post over here on the left hand side. I don't want to spend too much time because it's a 5-minute edit. You're just supposed to get in and get out, and we got 3 minutes left. So now that I have that going the way that I want, maybe I need to start thinking about what do I want out of the colors. And this is where you get into the effects module and you start throwing in some color. All right, so we're going to start off with a color enhancer because I think I have the tone the way that I want it to be. Now it's time to start looking at how do I want this to look overall. Now, what I like to do is throw in some saturation and a little bit more vibrance, and we'll see if we got to come back to mess around with that. What I also notice is this overall image is really, really blue. So let's warm that up by moving this temperature slider over to the right. Turn this off. Let's get a quick before and after. It's very subtle, so we need to work on this a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep on moving. Now, because I don't want to go through every single channel, what I'm gonna do is click on the saturation drop down and then grab the eye picker tool and start clicking on the areas that I want to improve. So I want this stoplight to be a little bit more saturated, and so that's what I'm going to do is saturate that. And then I also want the vessel to be a little bit more saturated, and I guess that was picking up purple, which I don't like that, so we'll go Command Z because that was not working. And I think it's more of a red color, or at least there's a lot of reds in it, which there are. And I don't want to change the overall color of the vessel, but what I do want is for it to pop out of the image compared to everything else. And with us only having 1 minute, I can't spend a whole lot of time working on that. Turn this off and on. It's kind of working, but what I think I need is a black and white filter. And this is kind of a catch-all that if you are short on time and you want to make something a little creative, you put a black and white filter on, you hit auto, and then you pull down the opacity, or you do that in whatever order you want. I'm going to hit the letter M to grab a masking bug. We're going to grab a vignette, hit right here in the middle, and I'm going to pull that up and then drag this out. And that creates this nice little effect leading into the overall image. So that way you get a little bit of color in the image as well as a desaturated look. And if necessary, you just pull that up a little bit more and I need to click on the mask and lower my density. So that way the vessel gets that effect as well, and we're done. So there you have a 5-minute edit of what you could do with a photo. And I could have taken this in many different directions, but the one that I took it in, I'm slightly satisfied with it. I could do more work on this than I probably should, but hopefully this gives you an idea of getting familiar with the tools that you go to on a regular basis and honing in on a craft. Now, I plan to bring more videos like this, and honestly, it's just a good drill that you can do on your own with a photo that you never plan to post anywhere, but just learning what can I do with the software that I'm editing. If you're interested in picking up a copy of On One Photo Raw, check the description box below. You can save 20% by using my coupon code FreeWillPhotos20. If you are interested in hanging out with a group of like-minded photographers, head over to freewillphotos.com and sign up for a free membership and join the community, share your images, and talk with other photographers. Until next time, I want you to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.